You know, people used to say, well, I'm going to go into acting, but I'm going to study law, so I'll have something to fall back on. I'm like, well, those are, you know, I don't want to fall back on anything. In fact, if I'm going to fall, I want to fall forward.
I'll speak slow, so those of you with PhDs in the room can understand.
Never knew about acting. Didn't know anybody that was in acting. Didn't know, had no desire to be one. Wasn't anybody on the air that looked like me that made me want to be one.
Listen up, I don't care if you're black, green, blue, white, or orange.
I took a class in college, fill out my my card, you know, get some extra credit. Figured easy class, some acting, you know, to be or not to be.
And they just happened to be having auditions for a play, and I got the lead role in a play the first time I read for one. I remember just looking out at the audience and going, boy, I really like this.
What is wrong with you? Why are you fumbling my football?
In fact, when I first started getting into acting, there was a teacher of mine who could see the potential that I had when I couldn't see it, and he was very helpful in helping me to get my first agent and just telling me things like, you know, never compromise yourself, and you know, he used to always say, you don't have to be intimidated by anyone, and just remember everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time.
Nothing but the truth.
Within a year of the time that I started acting, I already knew that that was going to be my lifelong profession. I had, quote unquote, found my, you know, calling.
Well, let us hear from our minister, Minister Malcolm X.
And Malcolm X was a role that I had done as a play back in 1981. People were coming down to see me. I mean, I met everybody. I mean, doing this little play for $125 a week, and Diana Ross would be there one night, and Muhammad Ali would be there the next night. And it was like, well, who's this kid? It was, you know, it was feeling like, well, I'm beginning to arrive in the New York theater community. I really didn't know anything about Hollywood or making movies, and to be quite honest, we were sort of snobbish in Hollywood and all that. We were gonna, you know, play the great roles and maybe one day make $600 a week on Broadway. I remember the first film I ever did.
Hi, Daddy.
That was Carbon Copies. And I said to myself, well, I really just, this is just a natural world for me. This just feels comfortable. I was naive about it, but I found out shortly thereafter, you know, I did my stints of no work.
How far are you gonna get with an attitude like that?
I'll make out.
You'll make out.
You do what you gotta do until you can do what you wanna do. You know, I remember after Carbon Copy, being in the unemployment office and having friends, seeing somebody I know in online see, you know, and they're like, what are you doing in here, man? I just see you starring in a movie. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm here getting my $126 and whatever it was, and 50 cents, you know. I'm waiting to get to line B like you are. A humbling experience.
Isn't that terrible?
I didn't get into this business to become a famous movie star. It was more about the work. It still is more about the work. But the whole machine is accelerated now. You see, if you have a little talent, they grind you up before you really have a chance to develop your talent.
Give me exact ranging and speed on our weapon.
So I was fortunate to get a chance to develop.
There were people that were willing to take what some might consider to be a risk. I think that it's a, you know, maybe just a testament to me moving up the ladder, you know, to my ability, you know, and $100 and $200 million later, you know, everybody's happy.
How many lawyers you go to before you call me?
9.
You know, yes, the best actor should get the part, or the actor that's right for the part should get the part, but it's business.
You know, boy, you... Oh, man. You know, if you wasn't my brother, I'd kill you. You know that.
I'm a father first. I don't get life mixed up with making a living. I was there for all 4 of my children being born. When the first one was born, I recognized the difference between life and making a living. Their life, you know, our family is life. You know, acting is making a living. Don't get me wrong, I'm not all Mr. Nice Guy, you know, but I believe in treating people well. You know, you know, that's the way I was raised. I don't think hopefully there's nothing unusual about that.
The one thing I'm the most happy about in terms of my career is the fact that I got there with the grace of God, first of all, but short of that, I got there just by working hard, not partying with the right people, not compromising myself in any way or cutting any kind of deals, just by working hard, just by plugging along, sawing wood, as I like to call it. I'm a 20-year overnight sensation.